whatever you want to do. Girls first, right? Don't you? Okay. All right.
Good, because I'm nervous about following your fantastic story. Yay! This is a little bit bigger crowd than what happens at Bass Pro, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited to be here. I appreciate Mindy asking me. I just hit executive director at the end of November, so I am really fighting to get to national marketing director for St. Louis, but I kind of like sharing my story, especially for my team, because I love giving them inspiration. Let me rewind and then I'll fast forward. I come from a corporate background, but when we had our second child, I decided to take the stay-at-home mommy route. And I love doing that, but I love being out with people. So being an at-home mommy was not working out well for me. Ironically, I was just having my third child at the time too, and I was having some skin issues. And so my sister had just had her third child, and I said, hey, we never had acne when we were when we were younger. What's going on? Did this happen to you after your pregnancies? My whole family is all on the East Coast. And so she was like, no, but I just went to a home party and I got hooked up with this company and I kind of like their product. So I wrote it down on a little Post-it note, Googled the company, sent a little yes, I'm interested in information. They sent me information, and this really sweet girl called me a couple days later and said, hey, I'll send you samples and da-da-da. And she started talking to me about the business. And I'm thinking, I just had third kid, no way. I was teaching jazzercise at the time, so that was my little outlet. That was my job. I got to be out with people. But anyway, so long story short, I did end up joining that company. That was my first exposure into network marketing. And I loved it because it was 1 or 2 nights out a week. I was starting to grow a little team. I went on every vacation. I earned a couple trips to Cancun, a trip to the Bahamas. And my husband was like, sweet, my wife's taking me on free trips, So he got to come along on those things with me. But he never really got involved other than okay, I'll give the kids a bath tonight while you go do your skincare thing. So anyway, what happened is I was with that company for about 5 years and it went bye-bye in the matter of one day. I walked out of the jazzercise class, opened up my email, and I thought it was a joke because it looked like it came from a lawyer. And devastating. I sat there in my car and I'm texting my upline sponsor did somebody just hack our email? What's going on? She's like, not a hack. I'm going to call you in a little bit. I'm like, so I'm driving home calling my husband. My husband's like, oh, that's too bad, honey. But he didn't realize it took me 5 years to build that and get to where I was. So I'm going to fast forward and let you know that I'm way further ahead now with Nerium, a year into this than I was 5 years with that company. But so that my sponsor from that company, she went with another company. I kind of thought I was going to, didn't, da-da-da. 2 years later, she calls me about Nerium. Hey, have you heard about Nerium? Nope, never heard about it. Great. I'm going to send you a bottle and you're going to try it. I'm like, okay, great. And she was like, but I want to tell you about the company. I said, stop right there. Not doing it. Did it. Got burnt. Not going to ever do it again. I don't want to do it. Laurie, this is different. No, they're all the same. I know they're all the same. And because I've had several people contact me about their companies, okay? So she's like, okay, fine. Well, I'm going to send you a bottle. You try it. And I did. I tried the product. I liked it. I'm a skincare junkie. So I did like the product. She called me. She's like, how's the trial going? Can I send you a little video about the company? No, don't send me anything about the company, but I'll sign up as a customer. I'll be your best customer, Sarah, I promise you. So she said, I sign up as a customer. I was watching her on Facebook. We all have watchers. Just because they're not liking your stuff, okay? They don't like my Nerium stuff either, but I post a picture of my kid and I get 70 likes, okay? So they're watching your stuff. Don't stop posting your stuff. So she got, so anyway, I saw that she earned her iPad. She earned her Lexus. That she was going to be the speaker at that week's RRP, and I'm like, okay. So I sent her a text. I'm like, all right, you need to fill me in on this Nerium thing. And so she put me on a 3-way phone call with her upline, Anna Woodward, and I got to chat with her, and I was like, okay, I'm in. I think I'm going to do this. So I signed November 28th of last year. I did not fast start qualify. I did not earn my iPad. I barely even opened the box. Like, the call was great, right? I was so excited. I was pumped when I got the call. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And then life happened, right? Busy dance competition month. That was my excuse for January. February's excuse, I can't even remember what it was that I gave her, but we all give our upline sponsors excuses. So that was February. So in February, she did call me and she said, hey, I'm going down to Dallas for the bash. And I said, what's a bash? Hadn't gotten on a phone call, hadn't gone to a market party, didn't know what a bash was, barely read the emails. I don't even think I was opted in to get them, honestly. So I was like, all right, well, I told my husband, I said, I'm going down for a Nerium thing. But in my mind, I was thinking, girls' weekend, right? Okay. So, and I love this girl because my upline sponsor, she's in Seattle. So I'm thinking girls' weekend. Well, I got into the room and I could not leave the room. I sat there like this with my legs crossed because I had to go to the bathroom so bad, but I did not want to miss a second. Once I was hooked 15 minutes into that room. Came back from that event in February, turned it around. I had my first brand partner join my team in March. The rest is history. I earned my Lexus in June, executive director in November. So it's been slow but steady, you know? And I say slow because I know some of the people in the room want everything to happen tomorrow. But when I look at where I've come in a year, everybody's story is different. Everybody, how they get there is different. Just know that you're going to have your own story to tell when you get up here, okay? So stick with it. The key, never, ever, ever give up.
Okay, I'm Bill Marcell, and I was in a nutrition business when I first saw Nerium about 16, 17 months ago, and I had, if you've heard the name Kendra Mackey, she was my sponsor eventually, but I had sponsored her in this nutrition business, and I was trying to build it and get it off the ground, and I said, boy, this is going to be the thing. I'm tired of doing all these hopping around different things. This is it, you know, and so, you know, I said, well, let's call Phyllis up. And some of you know Phyllis Anderson, you know, up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and so, yeah, we'll call her up. We did a 3-way call, get Phyllis on the phone. She goes, guys, I'm going to buy a bottle from you of your nutrition, but she goes, I just ran across something, it's called Nerium. She goes, I am just blown away with it. Well, what she showed us, she sent us this picture of herself. On the left, you see 23 years of Mary Kay, that she had been, you know, using Mary Kay for 23 years, and she had earned a car in Mary Kay, and she had been involved a long time. But on the right, you see 19 days of Nerium. And we were going, are you kidding? You know, so we saw that got my attention a little bit. You know, I said, okay, we'll talk to you later on, you know. So we get off the phone, and she goes, oh, by the way, I've earned an iPad. I've earned that already. This is her first month. She goes, I qualified for that. She goes, if things go well, I may earn my Lexus car bonus next month. I'm going, yeah, right. And so, you know, we get off the phone. Kendra and I are talking, and, you know, I said, let's call her back in a week. You know, she'll probably be out of that thing by then, you know. And so Kendra goes, well, that did look pretty good. And you look at this website. And I'm going, yeah, you know. I say, yeah, it looks good, because I'm the one that sponsored Kendra. I didn't want her to get, you know. And so anyway, so we called back in about a week and a half. We called Phyllis again. You know, we're trying to get this nutrition thing going. And all of a sudden, Phyllis goes, oh my gosh, guys, this thing is so, you know, this person's in this person. Are you kidding? We were trying to get them in our thing. They got in your thing? Really? Oh my gosh. You know, so it started becoming fear of loss. Kendra starts caving on me. You know, she starts saying, oh, I'm going to do this, Bill. I go, okay. So it ends up she sponsors me instead of me sponsoring her. But so what happened, there was a meeting down in I don't know where it was, the Overland Park, thank you, you know. And I didn't remember you guys, but I remember Mike, and I remember Mindy, and then a little guy named Danny Gassman happened to be there. And I wasn't in yet, you know. But she said, there's a meeting down your way, go sit in on it. I sat in on it, and everybody's faces were looking good, and they were showing me before and after pictures. I went back, and, you know, I just decided, you know, I'm going to do this thing. They were telling me they both got in for $500, and they said, wish we got in $1,000. I thought they were trying to bump me. They actually, but it made sense, and they got theirs paid off like in a week and 10 days, and I thought, well, what if it takes me a couple months? And plus I could help more people in my group, and all. I got in for $1,000 and paid it off in 5 weeks. And the thing that got me about Phyllis too, I think the thing that finally got me in, she had been in Mary Kay 23 years. I asked her, I said, okay, your very best month in Mary Kay, your group volume, what was your highest month volume? She said $28,000 retail. And I said, okay, this is your second month in Nerium. She goes, oh, by the way, it wasn't next month. I earned my card my first month. I'm going, you're kidding me. I said, what was your volume your second month in Nerium? In Mary Kay, it was 28,000. She said it was 89,000 wholesale. And I'm saying, oh my God. So that got my attention. Anyway, I knew this business. What I found out from the beginning, guys, is just how different it is than anything else out there. I mean, from a product standpoint, you guys heard my story before. I put it on half my face. I was being real stubborn. I did that for a couple of weeks. One of my gals came to the meeting. That was a prospect. Came and she was staring at me the whole time. She said, "Well, you're going to have to start using this on both sides of your face. You're starting to look weird." I said, this product's really working. That's a good testimony, And then from a business standpoint, I'll tell you what, it's so neat, this relationship marketing thing. I mean, there's people that have been in the business before with me in different programs. We got Elaine. I'll tell you what, I'm so blessed today. I just got to tell you, about 30 years ago, I got into this little company called Amway. And the guy that sponsored me, and that's sitting back in the corner of the room right there, Pepper Shady. And I finally sponsored him in this. I tell you what, I'm blessed to have him and his wife Linda in this. You talk about relationships. If it wasn't for this industry, I wouldn't have had that kind of relationship. And with Phyllis, we were in Amway at the same time in different lines. And I'm just telling you, the relationships is this. The product was different than anything I'd seen to get results that fast. The business was working like you wouldn't believe. I've won my iPad. I got my, everything paid back in 5 weeks. It's all been gravy. I've gotten over $4,000 worth of product. I've earned my Lexus. So I'm saying this is really different, guys. I mean, when you think it took 10 years for Microsoft to hit 100 million, it took us 1 year, one product, one country. Think about this. I mean, if you guys stick with it, we'll be in every state in the United States, earning money from every state, diversified. And as we go into 40 countries eventually, to have income coming in from around the world where it never stops. I mean, it's exciting.